I've been watching a lot of good films lately. Like a weirdly amount of fun films. I was leaving the movies going, wow, I was entertained. This is what it used to be like. But then today came, Friday, as of recording this, and I realized Netflix has released The Electric State, a 2+ hour Russo Brothers $320 million production. It's shit. Before I attempt to access the memory logs of the film I just watched, if you wouldn't mind beep scoop beep 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 pushing that subscribe button, just one time is fine, and even maybe liking the video if you find yourself enjoying it along the way, because I post a lot of movie reviews, roasts, live streams every single week, and I would love to have you stick around. And I'm going to do a spoiler video on this too, and I can assure you, I will not hold back. But let's begin with a spoiler-free review to start. Now, I'm going to give it credit for one thing and one thing only right out of the gates. It is an original film based on a book that I assume was written by a robot, and it has a varied and interesting cast, starring Academy Award winner Stanley Tucci as Ozempic Dr. Evil, Chris Pratt as a guy that somehow has less personality than Owen from Jurassic World, Millie Bobby Brown, more like Millie Vanilli, am I right? Actually, I don't have a problem with her in this. She's very likable. There's just not much here for her. Ki-Hu Kwan, who has decided, ever since being in a phenomenal film called Everything Everywhere All at Once, it's time to just do a bunch of trash. The only person that's rivaling him in that department, nay, surpassing him, is Giancarlo Esposito. If you thought his performance as Sidewinder in Captain America Brave New World was great, oh, you haven't seen nothing yet. Here he plays a robot bounty hunter, simply known as the Butcher. Creative. And he approaches this character about the same way Robert Downey Jr. did in Tropic Thunder. Giancarlo's playing a black dude disguised as a white dude disguised as another black dude. Getting through this film was a gauntlet of cliche dialogue, boring characters, uninteresting plot points, all culminating to the most stale, boring, predictable crap you could possibly imagine. Hell, every 10 minutes in the movie, I was calling out things the characters were gonna say before they even said them. That's how generic and lifeless this movie is. Let's get to the plot. A quick overview for you. The Electric State takes place in 1994. So you better believe nostalgia's gonna be hitting you from all corners. You bet your bass we got that singing fish in this thing. Memba Orange Julius? You will after watching this movie. But back to the plot. Keep in mind, that stuff can be fun. It can work in a movie that has some sort of identity, but this does not. Ironically, this felt like a movie manufactured by AI or some kind of robot civilization that's uprising to make mediocre crap movies. So we end up in 1994 in an alternate timeline, a fictitious world where robots have risen up against the humans. They're sick of being slaves. I mean, it's essentially the plot of I, Robot or The Animatrix, but with a different outcome. The robots did not win. They're just pushed into an abandoned mall where they can be free to be whatever they want. Ironically, in this timeline, robots are the ones out touching grass, while the humans are connected 24/7, short for 7, to devices that allow them to be in a virtual world. Think Ready Player One, X Fortnite, X Five Nights at Freddy's, and this is basically what you get. But like a really terrible version. Our main protagonist, Michelle, played by Millie Bobby Brown, is one of the few humans that doesn't want to be connected. She lost her parents and her brother in a car accident, and that was pretty much it for her. Until one fateful night, when her brother comes home in the form of a robot, because his conscience is somehow connected to it. And so our plot, in a nutshell, featuring Mr. Peanut, who's in this film, is that Michelle and her robot companion have to road trip it across this post-apocalyptic wasteland and find his original body. And who better to help her on this journey than Keats, played by Christopher Pratt. I sometimes call him Christopher, it sounds fancier. I actually didn't know his name was Keats until I looked it up on IMDb because he has zero personality at all in this film, much like Owen. In fact, I would say his most defining characteristic is grogginess. He's always angry. God, I just want to sell this old retro stuff for a quick coin. What are you doing here, stupid girl? Can't you see I'm busy? Great, now what, a giant robot? Hang on, you don't need a gun. I got this. Easy, easy. We have multiple robots. This works in other things for me. This works in other movies. Hey, if it can work against a T-Rex, it can work against a stupid robot. So as I stated, this film is over 2 hours long and you feel every single second of it. Because when you have no interesting characters, you have dialogue that feels like it was generated in about 5 seconds off a computer, and a plot so asinine as it starts to unfold even further, you just don't find yourself caring. And if I wasn't reviewing this movie for my channel, I would have shut this shit off about 30 minutes in, and that's being generous. And this is from the Russo Brothers. You know, the guys that did those Avengers movies, Infinity War, Endgame. They did a couple of the Captain America films, the good ones. They did a couple Extraction movies on Netflix, The Gray Man. What the hell went wrong here? I guess the only other credit I'll throw their way is it seems like they at least went a little bit outside their comfort zone and tried to make something a bit more family-oriented, something a bit more Steven Spielberg-esque in nature. But it's no Jurassic Park. Hell, it's no Jurassic World. So negatives aside, let's talk about some more negatives. We have a few pop music selections thrown into the mix to once again fire up those nostalgia berries. A lot of the songs don't fit what's happening on the screen. For instance, when Chris Pratt's character shows up, rocking a handlebar mustache and a stupid perm, you could probably guess how he's gonna be introduced. Think of the most generic action dude intro you can put on a person, and there you have it. And yes, you're correct. It's a shot of his boot stepping out of a truck. The camera slowly pans up his body to the reveal of our action star. And I don't remember the musical choice off the top of my sack, but I can assure you it does not match the tone of what's happening in the scene. He's like dinking around with a keychain to open up his mailbox while Scorpion's "Here I am, rock you like a hurricane." It's not that song, but I'm just saying it did not match. That song is a banger though. Rock you like a hurricane! Oh, I have another pro. The highlight easily being Mr. Peanut, an animatronic character, and some other CGI robots blended in. They all look great. Absolutely top-notch stuff going on in the animation and robotics department. These things do look terrific. Unfortunately, just like everything else in the movie, it's all surface level. There's nothing else going on underneath the hood. The action in this film ranges from, oh, that's it, to, wow, that was incredibly mediocre. Where in the hell are the creative action moments I know the Russo brothers are capable of doing because they've done it like 10 times already? Where is the emotion in this film? It's all so stale. Again, the Russos have directed it before. Chris Pratt has acted in it before. If you're gonna tell me he doesn't pull off an amazing performance in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, crying over who he thought was a dead CGI raccoon, then you're just straight up lying to me and yourself. I don't know why I'm scolding you right now, I apologize. I shut this movie off just thinking, wow, what an absolute waste of time, talent, energy, budget, marketing, everything that went into this film is such a letdown. It's far from the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not Borderlands level of bad, but it's bordering on that. At least I can have a fun time making fun of Borderlands while I'm watching it. This movie doesn't even give me that luxury. Instead, wafting back and forth between something that could have possibly at one point had potential to the Kids Bop version of Ready Player One. Long story short, my good movie streak is officially over. Thanks once again, Netflix, and thanks, the Electric State. I hate it here. Well, there you have it, my spoiler-free thoughts on the Electric State. Not that there's much to spoil outside of your afternoon. Let me know your thoughts if you watched this pile of crap already. Post them down below. Please, again, think of subscribing and liking this video. I would appreciate it. And hopefully, I see you next time for that spoiler video I'm going to be doing on this. It will be longer. It'll be saltier, and unlike this film, you might find yourself having a good time watching it. I can't wait. Thanks again for watching the video. If you wouldn't mind, I would appreciate it if you checked out patreon.com/AdamDoesMovies. That's where fans of my channel go to help support it. There are different tiers with different offerings, exclusives every month. We got multiple movie reviews, there's a vlog monthly, and even if you don't want to plop down $1 a month, you can just sign up for Patreon for free and become a member at no charge. Appreciate your time. Thanks.